2 Tesseract Vaults. I mean, how am I going to kill these things?
You're not, is the answer. You're not.
Yeah.
Hello guys and welcome back to Planet 40k. A little bit different this video today. I'm going to be attending IDICBeer Necrons and More's tournament, which is called the Dominion War 2025. It's a YouTuber based tournament that happens every year, hosted by Nick himself, and of course I've been invited. So this is going to be a bit of a list build video as well as a little bit of a vlog style video, and I kind of will see how I go when I get there. Then I'll get the footage and bring it back to this video if that makes any sense. But I'll let you know about the rules and what's going on with this tournament. So there are 16 YouTubers, and in fact I'm going to post all the channel names and everything down below. So if you want to subscribe to anyone, help them out and do that down below. And yeah, so you're bringing 1k per person, so 1,000 points each. You're going to be partnered up with one of these other, well, 15 other YouTubers. We don't know who our partners are. There's going to be a draw on the day. And there's going to be 2 games, staying with the same partner. So the standings are done by wins, and then if the wins are level, it'll be done by points. Now, there are a couple of unique missions. We're not doing the standard mission deck and the standard 40k rules at the moment. We're playing the Overlord rules, which are Nick's personal rules. But the one that I really want you to hone in on is this one here, which is the Take Their Soul. Now, there is no score limit of 100 points in this tournament. And as you can see here, I think this is the key secondary here, or this is the key objective overall, because there's literally 200 points up for grabs from just this secondary alone. Whereas if I go back to all the other ones, you've got standard primary missions, you know, getting 5 for holding objectives. The other objectives are not as potent, killing warlords and stuff. Yeah, great. The kill points is the one. That's the one. Also worth noting, in fact, we're playing true line of sight as well. Probably because Nick's not got all the, you know, the fancy terrain, competitive terrain to cover 4 different tables. So we're going to do true line of sight. That's what we're going with. Now, it got me thinking, because I need to construct a list and I plan on it being killy yet durable. It needs to be durable. I don't want to be giving up points. So I mulled over some ideas. My original idea was a theme. It was more of a fun list. It was a pure Locust list. 18 Locust Destroyers led by 3 Locust Lords. And then I had the rest of the list consisting of Locust Heavy Destroyers. And it came up to dead on 1,000 points. I went and brought 18 Destroyers, got them all painted up, ready to go. And they were out of stock for like 7 months as well. So I was panicking a little bit. Did eventually get them, paint them up. But then there was a balanced data slate not that long ago where they limit the max of 2 units of the same datasheet if you're playing an incursion, well, an incursion battle. Now, of course, I'm going to be paired up with a person with 1,000 points, so we're not playing an incursion battle, but we were asked to build an incursion list. So I had to check with Nick, and he said, yeah, 2 max. So that's what we've gone with. So that list went in the bin, unfortunately. I had to start again. So I needed a plan B. Now, Doomsday Arcs are obviously a clear winner here, but it's a little bit predictable. I didn't want to do it. I thought it's a bit meta at the moment. This is meant to be a bit more fun and fluffy, so I'm not going to go with the Doomsday Arcs. So I want to try, you know, with me as well. I tend to run things different. In previous tournaments, I've ran MSU Necrons, which is a weird thing to think about because you want reanimation. I ran the Tesseract Vault last year, another oddball of a unit. I thought about Catan. Catan with true line of sight might be a problem though, so I needed inspiration, and I revisited last year's vlog. If you guys have been following me for over a year now, you'll know that last year I took the Tesseract Vault. It was a silly list, lots of fun. So the idea, I thought, I put it to the Discord, in fact. The Discord actually pushed me into this, but I thought, why not take 2 of them? They're resilient, they're killy to a degree, so the idea was born. So 2 Vaults, 1 Cup, as the thumbnail says. So that's the list is going to be quite simple, in fact. So let's run through the list now. It's not going to take that long at all. We're going to be playing Hypercrypt Legion because there's literally no other detachment that does anything, gives you any real benefits with a Vault. So Hypercrypt Legion, at least you can Cosmic Precision, and you can turn on Hazardous and things like that. I thought it was worth a punt. I do need a Warlord, I do need a character. So I've gone with the Hexmark Destroyer purely for Lone Up. I'm not giving up points with Lone Up that easily, and with Cosmic Precision, or just Deep Strike and Hyperphase, I could maybe do something janky with a Hex Smart Destroyer. No enhancement, don't need it. The second unit, Canoptic Spider. I'm going to be taking 2 Vaults, so I may as well... It was a toss-up between the Reanimator and the Spider. The Reanimator giving double reanimation. It is valuable, don't get me wrong. But the Spider with a Feel No Pain save, 6+, potentially 5+, I thought has a bit more value with a unit that's got 24 wounds and reanimation, toughness 12 and all that stuff. So I've gone with the Spider. So then we've got 2 Tesseract Vaults. Now I don't own 2 Tesseract Vaults, so I'm going to be borrowing one from one of our subscribers, and he's also in the Cryptech Council on the Discord. His name is Alpha. Thank you very much, Alpha. And I'm going to be, going down. He's literally 10-15 minutes away from the tournament. Literally on my way passing, and I'm going to pick that bolt up. And he has named it Type C, because it's charging the Catan, and the Catan is the C. So it's meant to be a pun on USBs and stuff. But yeah, that's what we're going to go with. Hex Smart Destroyer, Warlord, Canoptic Spider, and 2 Vaults, dead on 1,000 points. Now, why have I gone with 2 Vaults? Let's just break this down a little bit for you, because it's kind of stupid, right? It's kind of stupid, but I'm looking at the movement. The movement is iffy because they're so big. It's going to be quite hard to move, but 24 wounds with a 2+ armor save, toughness 12, 4+ invulnerable save, which is probably the most important part, and lots of flexible Catan weapons, so I can change up to the big stuff, to the small stuff, times arrow characters, and the Tesla spheres as well. There's a lot of firepower coming from it, and then 2 of them. Now, this list is not flawless at all by any means. I mean, the range of these weapons is only 24 inches. That's going to be a huge problem, especially with the difficulty with movement. And I'm predicting a lot of heavy artillery in this tournament, because people should have gathered that this is a kill points game. If you just stay back and shoot with no line of, true line of sight, you're probably going to win the game. So I'm expecting some big anti-tank weapons, and I've only got 24 inches, so I'm going to need to get closer. So I've got 2 Vaults. I need a cup just to finalise the thumbnail. I need a cup, so I need to come top 3, basically. That's my aim in this tournament, is to just get on the podium, top 3. Can I do it? We'll have to wait and see. Right, so I've come back from the event. This weekend's gone, and yeah, let's give you a bit of a rundown of the what actually happened in this event. So I rocked up to this event. we start doing the the meet and greets, meeting everyone. But the fun part came where you got to do the draw. There was a lot of Orc players. There was obviously a lot of Necron players. There was, in fact, I'm going to show you the showcase reel if I haven't already. You'll see all the different army types. There's quite a few of them. But who would I be paired with, and who will I be coming up against in game 1?
Paired with? Well, we are going to be paired with the same person for both games.
Sorry.
And if I get...
Get you in there as well.
Okay.
No, I've got 2. I've got the Golden Throne David. Salamanders.
Let's go.
There we go. So we got David from the Golden Throne. He mainly plays Death Guard, and in the last 2 events he's actually come last, and he's gained he won the wooden spoon in both events. But this year he brought his A game because he's changed his army and he's gone with Salamanders. I thought, you know what, we got this, we're good, we're fine. So we had a little rough idea, we had a little chat, had a rough idea of what we plan on doing. I don't really know his exact list, but I can tell you sort of roughly what he had. I can't tell you the exact points, but it was basically Vulcan, is that the name of the epic hero? Vulcan was there. There's a captain, there's an impulsor, a drop pod, Leviathan Dreadnought because legend stuff was okay, Ballistus Dreadnought, 10 Infernus Marines, and company heroes. In fact, they might be the legends. One of them's the legends. Either way, Salamanders, Firestorm Assault. Salamanders obviously love their flamers and melters. So we go into game 1. We've got paired against 6 plus Stevo and James from ModellingforAdvantage, and they were both playing Orcs and both playing Dreadmob. This was on table number 1. This was like the top table, but this is the first game, so there is no top and bottom at the moment. There's no one scored any points. That's where we were placed. Now, as I just said, Legends was active in this tournament, and there was a Squiggoth. Is it a Squiggoth? The Orcs had this huge dinosaur-looking thing. I had no idea what it did, or does, and I didn't want to find out. So I just said to David, oh, for a moment, that, because that could be a problem, we don't know. Let's get rid of it. And yeah, by halfway into turn 1 of our shooting, it was just gone. It was gone. That problem could be for somebody else to deal with, not us. This is turn 1, we've done the deployment, we've done the movement. I can't move this vault, it's literally stuck because of all these ruins. So I've only been able to move 1. But we've got some shooting coming from the Dreadnoughts at the back here, because it is true line of sight. We're going up against Stevo and James.
Right,
so these 2 dudes here.
Right, so rerolling hits, hitting on 3s, don't need the reroll. Now, it's a strength 12.
But yeah, David was carrying pretty much the early battle with his 2 Dreadnoughts. They were just doing bits.
Toughness 10.
So 3s to wounds, but +1 to wounds, so 2s to wounds.
My Tesseract Vaults were not really doing much. I kept whiffing the shots, I kept missing the shots, and just not doing enough for 425 points per vault. So they were not only that, they were stumbling over themselves. They were sort of blocking his way, David's way, with his Salamanders. He couldn't really get through that way, so he had to go wide. It was a bit of a cluster, can't even say that word, can I? But yeah, I wasn't rolling hot, missing a lot of stuff. We've done our turn 1. We killed a unit of something over there. And we killed the big squiggy thing as well, that's dead. And we're quite happy with that.
We're still gaining the 9 points because it's a turn.
David?
Yes, we had a successful first turn, 0 for moment on the squig off. Did 10 damage to this guy, and then we finish it off with the storm.
Have you guys got your CP?
Yes, thank you.
We have, thank you. Happy with T1?
Yes, very happy, yeah.
Good stuff, good stuff.
Seeing how the Orcs will react now. I think they've decided to not war, so it'll be interesting.
They've not warned? Ah.
I think I will.
I'm going to advance with my mech.
Cool. Let's get into their turn 1. 1 bolt did get dropped early, and it might have even been with Overwatch against Looters. I can't remember if it was Overwatch or not, but it was pretty costly, and that literally gave the Orc team 43 points as per our mission rules, because you divide 425 by 10, rounding up, it's 43 points just for killing the bolts. So yeah, that was a big loss.
The last.
That vault has disappeared, it's been shot by Overwatch. We've not had the best shooting phase. Killed another Dread. And we killed a tank.
Just 1 damage.
Not the greatest.
That is the end of my shooting.
That's all we got. We didn't have a lot, did we? We still got the vault, but they have got a lot more than us now.
Are you likely to do any combat?
Usually 6+ Stevo is very gung-ho. He normally charges everything in, doesn't care if they do anything or not. That's how he plays. Loves to roll some dice. But even he was afraid of these vaults. He was staying back. And I managed to Cosmic Precision the remaining vault near the centre. Better spot, got it out of the terrain so there was no more banging onto the train with the hull of the actual vault. Turn 2 and 3, we put a bit more pressure on the orcs, went down the flank. The squig hogs came down the left flank, and I think it was like some mega armor knob dudes. They were going down the flank. So David's drop pod came down. All the Infernus guys came out. We could only, of course, overwatch one of those units, but we were flaming them, and he held the line, well, he held that part of the board quite well for quite a long period of time. Dead pile, this is turn 2. Dead pile.
We're in combat either way.
There's a big mess here.
Big
Just the Sergeant and Vulcan left.
So, me to go, yeah?
Late game, my vault woke up and it started to finally zap things with better targeting. 24 inches was now much more easier to achieve when you're in the centre of the battlefield, so I was pipping off units left and right, and it was lovely. I don't have the final score sheet to hand, but we had approximately 220 points from the game, which was a comfortable win. It didn't feel that comfortable mid-game though, because I thought we were even going to lose. When we lost our vault, I thought we were in trouble, but realising they lost a lot of anti-tank, they didn't have much else to deal with the vault. So that actually put us on the top table, which is the table we've just been playing on. So I didn't move table throughout the tournament. This was my table. The winner of this next game, game 2, was, well, most likely to win gold. So there was a lot on the table, a lot of stakes, and it was basically the gold medal table. But if you don't win that game, you do have a potential of falling off 2nd, 3rd, 4th, maybe even 5th. It all depends on the other tables and how well they did. So after lunch, before game 2, me and Dave have another chat, and we're talking about what we can improve on, and maybe be a bit more cautious with his drop pod and Infernus Marines, because they kind of got stuck into a fight they didn't want to be in, but they did do well. So we were going to kind of just stick to plan and see how it goes. So game 2, we had Kaiser, who's playing Death Guard from ModellingforAdvantage. We played his YouTube partner in the previous game, that was James. And we also had Rory with his Tyranids, who was last year's winner. So, and they obviously won their game to get onto the top table. So this is going to be interesting, and I've never played either of these opponents before. Okay, this is game 2. We're coming up against Death Guard and Tyranids. It's Battle of the Green. We're up against last year's winner, Rory.
Back again with the Tyranids. We're going to take the fight to... You've got 2 Tesseract Vaults. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to kill these things.
You're not, is the answer. You're not.
Yeah, we'll see.
And we've got Mr. Kaiser who's chatting at the moment. With his Death Guard. It's going to be another interesting game, and we've deployed very similar to the first game, with the dreads on the either side and the tank with the Hexmarker Spider just hidden underneath, and there's a lot of melter stuff down there. Emissary, Tyrannofex and Zone Folks. Now on paper I quite liked our odds because Kaiser had a lot of infantry, although they were hiding in rhinos, so that was a bit of a problem. And we've got a couple of bolts, which we've got a lot of anti-infantry stuff. They had a few blight, I think they're called blight haulers. They had the melters, the little mini vehicle things. Rory had a decent amount of artillery, zone tropes, Tyrannofex, more on him later, and Norn Emissary as well. Now I've got a bit of experience with Tyranids, as I used to play Tyranids. Norn Emissary, when it gets onto that objective, it gets the 5+4 no pain, OC15, it becomes quite a nuisance. So that was something I really wanted to deal with early game. But I felt like all we needed to really do is clear the artillery, the anti-tank stuff, and we'd probably gain the win. So we went first again, and we had to decide on what to do the Oath of Moment on first. There was a bit of a discussion, and I said ignore the Tyrannofex, get the Norn while it's not on the objective, it's not going to have the Feel No Pain, and so on. Now I wasn't able to clear the Norn Emissary with my Vaults, and he wasn't able to clear it with his Dreadnoughts either, and I was, to be honest, I was stinking up the place again. My Vaults were not doing anything. Probably for the first few turns, I just didn't do anything at all. It was pretty bad, and I'm really heavily relying on these Dreadnoughts. that my partner has to do something, and he wasn't quite kicking into gear just yet. End of our turn 1, we have destroyed a couple of those little blight hauler things and a few gene stealers. Not a massive amount's gone, but it's good enough for turn 1. But it's now Tyrannies and Death Guard turn 1. That emissary, I tried to go for it because it's going to get onto this objective and get a Feel No Pain save of a 5+, and OC 15, which we're trying to avoid. But if we can eliminate the anti-tank, then we'll be alright. As I said, all the Death Guard infantry, the Plague Marines, were all in Rhinos, and I'm firing Strength 10 antimatter meteor shots at the Norn at Toughness 11, so I'm wounded on 5s. I did a bit of damage, but didn't finish the job. That was mistake number 1. Remember that. Now in their turn, the Tyrannofex decided to wake up. Rupture Cannon, 2 shots at Strength 18. He hits with both, he wounds with both, I failed both saves. I even did a reroll because it was worth a reroll at the time. Mistake number 2, remember that as well. Failed the reroll, and the damage for each shot is d6 plus 6. And of course Rory rolls hot like he always does, and he rolled a 5 and a 6. My Vault was already slightly wounded, so it was basically destroyed. Turn 1, done. So we had a counterpunch plan, we had the drop pod go in next turn, right into the enemy line's corner, because there was a bit of a gap, and the idea was to flame the Tyrannofex, and the idea was to use, he had a stratagem where he could turn on devastating wounds, and he had reroll wounds +1 to wound, and it's auto hitting, it's the Flamery Infernus guys. Easy work. You need 2 CP. Problem is, I spent a CP doing my reroll for the Vault, which in hindsight it may have been the right decision still, because it would still be alive. But David really thought we had 2 CP left, and he went round the table all giddy like, I'm going to do this, and I went, Dave, we've only got 1 CP, buddy. And his face just dropped. Anyway, he had to do it without the devastating wounds. He rolled it, and a bunch of 6s come up, and he just looked at me like, I'm going to strangle you. So yeah, that was the kind of another mistake, but that was I suppose that's the first mistake, or the second mistake. I've lost count of the mistakes already. I think it was the second one. But yeah, loads of 6s, and of course he didn't kill the Tyrannofex with all the flamers. And now all of his guys are left in the open to be absolutely annihilated. He was just making saves. I mean, T-Fexes are tough, they're really tough. Right, we are in turn 2, we're getting smoked. I've hyperphased over here. Right hand side of the board with my only 3 only 3 models on the whole game. We need to kill the Tyrannofex. That
thing. Public enemy number 1. He killed the
No, you're public enemy number 1. For rolling
first place.
23 wounds.
23 damage on 2 shots.
Yeah, filthy. What are we
Returning
doing?
champion as well. Did you win it last year?
I did, but I feel bad now because it was just so bad. But
It's not over. It's only turn 2.
all to play for. All to play for. Still good game.
I feel like I'm playing like tennis. Right? Now that first mistake of leaving the Norn emissary alive, well, it became a pain in the arse as well, because that thing started to score in the centre, and it was 5 points at a time, and it was distracting other units that were closer to it, because it could have just made a charge and destroyed us.
How on earth do we measure through this?
This is enemy turn 2. They've whiffed a lot of stuff with the Tyrannofex this time.
You wanted to charge your dreadnought?
They're charging in with the emissary.
I don't know if the base will fail.
You failed the charge even.
And did nothing in shooting.
Yeah.
You made your in runs for the first time ever because I filmed it, which is great. Now
We'll do that more often.
the Tesseract's alive and we're in trouble.
There's 300 killers right now.
Yes. So we've now started to split our fire, some into the Norn, some into the Tyrannofex. It wasn't working, of course. That's not how you play. You should get rid of something if you really need it gone. Now late game I did do Cosmic Precision. I moved the Vault from where the Norn was and I put it on the right flank. It gave me a bit more, well, visibility and range to the Tyrannofex. Also the Zone Throats were there and the Gene Stealers were there. Now the Vault did wake up. I managed to get rid of the Gene Stealers. I managed to get rid of most of the Zone Throats. By the end of the game they were pretty much gone anyway. And of course the Tyrannofex was there waiting for me, but didn't do nothing to it. Stunk the place out again. We did eventually get rid of the Norn, but at this stage, Kaiser's Rhinos were just sort of waiting. He's so smart, that guy. He was just waiting for us to all have our battles, ran the Rhinos in, and he kept saying to Rory, none of them dreadnoughts can fight. So just let me in. I'm going to get in and then they're done. And he was dead on. He was right. He was right. So yeah, our walls were gone because the vaults were the wall. They were the block. One had died. One had moved. We're now wide open. We're shooting. And we are now... We've got Plague Marines in our faces.
We've got about 10 minutes. Okay.
This is what is left.
Movement phase.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I'm staying still. It's a 12.
That's all you got. Oh, and there's the dude up
There we go. All right.
and everything
This
else.
one.
There's a lot of stuff. It's been a bit of a bloodbath, to be honest. And this guy spiked dice, I'm sure he does.
Rory, count up our primaries.
Hey?
But yeah, a solid game overall. We were defeated, and we did still manage to score 100. I'm going to say 155. I don't know the exact score because the sheet, yeah, it was quite a long day, so I don't remember the exact score. Give or take 155. So we've ended our second game, Dave, and thoughts?
Really fun game from the start, like great opponents. We've played Rory before from Shed Gaming, check him out, he's an awesome guy. Kaiser, fantastic. He's a Death Guard player, I'm primarily a Death Guard player, but I'm trying out Salamanders. Our list was crazy, right? We've got a skew list, we've got 2 Tesseract Vaults. My Dreadnoughts sat at the back and they just did the killing, they did the
They
points.
were MVPs,
They
man.
scored the points, but you Carl, took the damage and allowed me to do that. First game the combo worked fine. This game we just spiked from the Tyrannifex.
Tyrannifex, man.
How many damage was it? 23?
The first vault went to 23 straight damage with 2 Raptor cannon shots, and then the second one 21 damage.
Yeah.
I did forget my Feel No Pains, but I went and redone them and they still died.
They were nice enough to let us go back,
Yeah,
and
they
that was
still
the whole
died.
thing. We went back and forth over some things we forgot, because we always do, here and there. But a game of dice, right? And you can't write off 23 damage from turn 1, can you? But
We still scored well, you know, 150 something points in this game.
So was it 230?
200, I can't remember, 207.
It was 2 something, and then
150 something. So we're in and amongst sort of third, fourth. We don't know exactly where they're in,
Yeah.
but let's hope for.
I didn't see what happened for turn 3 for you, because there was a lot of like,
We
it's crazy, should have happened. So I think
Yeah.
we got cursed a little bit, but hey, top table, you know, can't be angry at that.
Wooden spoon to the top of the game.
Exactly, and I'm not
Exactly.
winning the wooden spoon this year.
That's it.
Hopefully, anyway. But,
Nah, we shouldn't do.
we should be fine. I can't wait to come back up next year.
Yeah, cool.
See ya.
Now everything, of course, hinges on how Table 2 did, on whether we play second, third, or fourth, or beyond. Maybe we could come fifth. I'm not even sure. But this is the result, so I'm going to run that clip now.
With 356 points is Stevo and James. So we come into third place, and the prize for third place, where are we? We are here, so you get your £10 loaded dice gift voucher, War Game exclusive miniature, and the bronze trophy.
Nice.
With 1 win and 382 points, it is Carl and David. Congratulations.
Thank you, Nick.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Would have done better if you brought his Death Guard.
I'll give you your voucher for those dice afterwards. There's the miniature.
Awesome.
I'm looking for the same, you can sort of change them around. And I will give you a trophy because you haven't got much else to carry, so.
Thank you, Nick.
They're very fragile.
Well done, guys.
So there you have it, guys. In fact, I've got it right here. I've got my Bronze Overlord Dominion War 2025 trophy. So I was able to complete the thumbnail, which was the main goal from the very beginning. 2 vaults, 1 cup.